Selina, I am not one to write. Visiting you in Arkham would be unproductive. We'd just fight. It's not time for that. It's time to accept what we really are. I think if my parents could see me now, they would laugh. Dressed up as a bat. My parents were kind and dignified. They were the high society types that would never accept or understand this. All they could do is laugh. And they should. It's funny. A little rich kid who lost his parents used his money and resources to start a one-man war against crime. The ears and the belt and the leather and the armor and the gargoyles. How sad, how stupid, how immature, how hilarious. I want to laugh too, but I don't. I wage war. But you understand, Selina. You know what this is. After the gun and the pearls, there was nothing left. I was pain and no more. Gone and dead. I was not dignified. I was not kind. I was done. I surrendered. My life was no longer my life. I swore by the spirits of my parents to avenge their deaths by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals. That's what it is. The ears, the belt, looking over a dark city perched on a gargoyle. It's not funny. It's the choice of a boy to die and become something else. I am Batman. I am suicide. And you know this, Cat, because you've made the same choice. You said you killed 237 people, but you lied. I sent you to prison because I couldn't find proof to the contrary, but you know it and I know it. You're a fraud. You're like me. You're dead, and you know it's a choice you made. I'm going to free you because I have to, because you told a lie, and I will always find the truth. And when you're free, we'll put on our masks, and finally, together, we'll laugh. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Batman number 12. This comic was insane. This was, without a doubt, my favorite Batman issue to come out this year. This is one of the best issues published this year I happened to read. This is one of the best single issues of a Batman comic I have ever read. My god, this is good. I'm not gonna lie, Batman number 12 just hits home for me personally. That's gonna have a special personal meaning with me that might not exist for others. So I understand if you all aren't gonna think this is the best thing ever, but man, I do. It's hard for me not to see that in this comic. This issue defines Batman in a very special way that, in spite of his character being around for so long and having been explored so thoroughly, this hasn't been touched on before. And yet it all makes sense to me. This is who Batman is and has always been. He gave up everything he was. Bruce Wayne killed himself and became a bat. That's why Batman is always so thoroughly invested in his role as a superhero. That's why virtually everything he does is in the name of and with the goal of fighting crime. So to me, this issue works, and it works well in explaining and exploring Batman. Yes, it is silly to dress in a cape and jump around on rooftops. And yet there's nothing silly about this Batman. As goofy as superheroes are, and yes, it is all a little dumb, these stories, ideas, and characters have meaning in spite of the perceptive silliness. That's important to remember as these comic book characters are becoming ubiquitous in public knowledge and domain, that these stories aren't just so easily dismissed. Within the very realistic fact that Bruce was suicidal as a boy and essentially surrendered to those feelings. Though he didn't physically kill himself, he gave up on any dreams and aspirations he had, any notion of a normal life of happiness and leisure. He gave it all up for a goal, and that goal became his life. Batman is not suicidal, he is suicide. That's a very clever way of putting things, and also a great double meaning for the story arc's name, and works well in service of that. On the surface, you go into this story thinking this is about Batman forming his own Suicide Squad and going against Bane. But as we learn, that couldn't be farther from what this is about. This is about Batman and what he is. The Suicide Squad was a distraction, hence why most of them are now dead. That was a mislead in the name, because this is a story about Batman and Catwoman, and by taking on these mantles, that's what they are. They are suicide. Because Catwoman did the exact same thing, and as I said in last issue's review, she gave up everything for her goal, just maybe not in the way I thought. Bruce knows this, and while we don't know why Catwoman lied about killing all those people, I'm sure she had her reasons, and we'll find out soon enough. I'm also certain this will please many who were worried about this story messing with Selina's character. Everything's fine, guys. There's never anything to worry about. Tom King can write. This issue cemented me on just how great this guy is turning out to be as a Batman writer. And with some excellent art by the penciler, inkers, and colorist, this was a really fantastic issue. Obviously, for copyright reasons, I couldn't give you a verbatim of Batman's letter to Selina, which makes up the entire narration of this comic, but man, there's just no replacing reading it yourself. You really should check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, check out our Patreon page and consider supporting Comic Island. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.